Hey everyone, it's your boy, Calculon, and I'm back. This time we're going to be exploring TinkerCAD, which is a free 3D computer-assisted design and drafting, where'd the other D go, program that's available on a web browser. You can access this and run it on a Chromebook, but for now, let's deal with it on PC. Let's get into it. All right, here I am in my Google Classroom, and I assign my students to make a die, a simple die with 6 different sides on it in TinkerCAD. I was able to design, print, and paint this in about 2 hours total, so I believe you can also get through the tinkering and making this digitally in about 15 minutes. Let's try to get into it together. So first thing I asked them to do is to go through the tutorial. I'm going to click on this. It'll take me to a new website, which is just 7 different mini tutorials showing us how to use TinkerCAD. Sorry, I've already done these, so I'm going to use some editing magic to reset these without you having to see. There's a lot of confetti coming out. The first part of the tutorial is place it, and all that means is, hey, take this box and put it there. So find the box shape in the shape panel. Let's click and drag it. So you can take things out from the right side, where you'll find a lot of pre-made assets, and place them on the field. Continue to the next step. That's it. First step, both are done. All right, in the second tutorial, view it, we're just going to be using this box in the upper left-hand corner of our screen to view our cube from different parts. And you'll notice that if we click the different sides, it'll kind of snap to a exact 90 or 180 degree rotation, or 270, I suppose. But that way we can see things straight on from each of these different angles. If you click and hold the right mouse button, you can manually rotate your screen, or if you click and hold on this cube, you can do the same. So that's rotation. Zooming in, we can either use our scroll wheel to scroll in and out by scrolling on a scroll wheel, or you can use the mouse gesture like you would on a smartphone to zoom in or zoom out in your workspace. If you do not have a right mouse button, you can hold Control and left click. So I'm holding the Control button on my keyboard right now and then left clicking. That's it. In the Move It, we're simply going to move these objects to different places. So left click an object and drag. I moved it. I moved it. I moved it. I moved it.
We did it! We did it! Yay! Bravissimo!
Yeah, we did it. We did it. We did it. Yeah, we did it. The next tutorial is rotate shapes. Now this one's a little bit harder the further you are away, so you're probably gonna have to use some of your other skills, like zooming in with the scroll wheel, or by using your 2 fingers to zoom in on a Chromebook or other touch device. So let's move over to look at just our first cube. Okay, so if you are on a Chromebook, in order to pan around your field, you can hold the Shift button and then use 2 fingers to move left and right. If you're on a PC or otherwise have a mouse, you can click your scroll wheel. So to press your scroll wheel and hold that to pan around the field. So let's zoom into this first one. Select a box by clicking on the shape, and you'll notice these little arrows with kind of these wheels pop up. Enable the shape handles. Let's rotate our view, and then we're going to click and drag the shape handles. You'll notice I could kind of try to move this to the right place. But if I hold the Shift button, it'll snap to only 45 degrees, 90 degrees, etc. So it'll snap to all those nice angles. Whereas if I want more precise control, I can click and hold and move just degree by degree on this scale. But since I want to go exactly to that orange bit, I'm just going to hold the Shift button. It's at 45 degree angle. Move over to my other cube. Now I'm going to hold the right click and move above this one because I need to rotate it along its x-axis or y-axis. Again, I'm just going to hold the Shift button so I can see it'll snap to that 45 degree angle. And finally, I'll change my view again Let's move through this. Dun, dun, dun. All right, and finally, this one needs to move around the Z-axis. I'm gonna hold the shift button so I can move it to exactly 45-degree angle. And we should be done with all three of them now. So that one took a little bit longer, mostly because we had to navigate around our keyboard. Next, we're going to be sizing it up. So changing the scale of these objects. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit to get a better view. Select a box, and you'll notice these left, right, top, bottom, and if I look at the side, whoop, I'll have up and down, left and right, and front and back dimensions. And you can actually see the dimensions there. So if you care to, you can type the dimension you desire, but these are called the edge handles. And we can click and drag these to the exact dimensions we want. Here, 40 units wide. On to the next one. Gonna rotate again because I'm trying to go deep. Need this one to go back and forward. And then finally, this one, it says as a tip, you can click the white handles to scale both ways. Now, if I just drag my mouse around, it's going to distort. So again, holding shift will allow me to preserve the dimension. Now, the problem is I don't want to preserve three-dimensional space because I don't want it any taller. I just want it wider. So let's just make it a thick 40. Rotate around the back and do the same with the back. And we are done. All right, and finally, grouping it. Grouping objects allows us to combine them or subtract one part of an object from another to leave an impression, literally or figuratively. It asks us to click the box on the left, hold the shift on the keyboard, and then click the cylinder. So now you notice I've got both items selected. You can see the white scaling pieces on both of these objects. And I'm going to press the group button. Where's the group button, you may ask? They probably should have pointed that out, but it's up here. And now you'll notice they all turn red. That is now one object, and I can move the whole object around or scale the whole object together. So swole. Then we're going to subtract. So if I click on this object, you'll note it's not a solid, it's a hole. It's an a-hole. This is a solid, this is a hole. So I'm going to click that first cylinder, hold shift, click the square. Now when I merge these, what it's going to do is because the cylinder is a hole, it's going to cut a hole into that cube. Boom. So now we've got a cube with a hole in it. And again, the hole will scale with the cube now. Round peg, square hole. We did it. Giggity, giggity, giggity. This last lesson, alignment, is super useful. It can be very tricky to line things up. As you saw in the previous lesson, I had to flip the thing and move the thing. And so align is a cool tool to allow you to get all of your little fiddly bits in the same line. Select all the boxes. Whenever we need to select multiple objects, we're just going to hold the shift button. So shift, holding shift, I'm clicking all three objects. You'll notice all three objects are selected, and I've got this box around them all. And there's an align button. Where is that? Good question. It's up here. It says hover your mouse over each of the black alignment handles to see a preview. So if I want them aligned this way, it's going to put them all vertically together. If I want them all aligned this way, it'll put them on the right vertically, horizontally, and horizontally at the top. So there's 9 different points of alignment that I can see here and change around the arrangement of the cubes. So it asks me to align them however I want. I would like them like that. Actually, sorry, lies. And the good news about this program is Control-Z, which is undo, or you can hit the undo button. So yep, it even tells us the undo button on the toolbar will change it back to the original position. try to align the boxes in the workplace aligned to the front box. So like this. So we want them to look like it looks in the example. So let's see which one does that. Hey, that does that. Yep. And we can see that they're all aligned thusly, and it's probably going to ask us next to put them all in a straight line. Let's see. Wait, okay, back it on up. Okay, it doesn't tell us to do that, but do that. And then the final picture, that. Did it. Yeah, that's it. There's no more. That's the 7 lessons, okay? Seven things. Now, let's go and use those lessons in our big brain to make a cube.